right, welcome back to part 4 of our Crochet Along Teddy Bear series. Last time we finished up our body and our head. The head is going to be bigger, or is the part that's a little bigger than the body, but it kind of looks like a peanut. But I think we're missing a couple of things. We're missing arms, legs, some ears. We're going to start working on those now. So you've got the freshly cut end here. Let's start with, why not? Let's start with the ears and then see if we can start a arm or a leg. So we're going to start with our magic circle again. So I'll show you how to do that again. You'll hold the tail in your hand, wrap it around your fingers to make an X. You're going to take your crochet hook. We're using the same size crochet hook that we used before. Go under the first one, grab the second and pull it under. Slip out your fingers. And you're gonna grab the rest of it here with your hook and pull it through. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get our tail out of there real quick. So first, we've got our magic circle, and then we're gonna do 6 single crochet. So if you recall, we're just gonna go under, grab it, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to pull that up. So we've got our ring, we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Now we tighten it up by pulling our tail right here. We're just going to pull on that. Ta-da! And it's tightened up. All right, so that was round 1. We're going to go ahead and grab our nice little sheet here. And all these were from the last one, so I'm just going to grab my pen and scribble those out because we don't need those anymore. That was from doing the body. And this way we don't confuse it with our current piece. All right, so we've done 1, and I've got my piece of yarn that's a different color. And that's going to be my stitch marker. I want to put that in the first stitch, which is right there, because that'll help me mark the first stitch in each round. I'm actually going to wait to put that in. All right. So like I said, that was round 1. And we're going to go to round 2, and we're doing an increase. So we're doing 2 single crochet in each stitch. We're going to tighten that up a little more. So there's the first one right there. If you recall, this is kind of how we started the body way back in part 1. And see, now we're almost done with it. Oops, didn't quite get through all of it. There we go. All right. So there's 1, and then a second one right in that same spot. 2. I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker in that first one right there. Pull that through, and I'm just going to kind of let it sit there. So we've done 1 increase. Put our hook back in, and we'll do increase in the next one. So we go under, yarn over, and pull through. So we've got 2 loops, yarn over, pull through again, and then we're going to do it again in that same spot. And we're just increasing all the way around. So 2 stitches under each one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, and remember, like last time, as we're pushing and pulling, our hole in the center is going to get bigger. That's okay. We can just tighten that up once we've finished. Well, once we finish this round anyway. 1, 2. So now we should, because we've just doubled the number of stitches, we should have 12 all the way around. We're going to go ahead and double check. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. All right, so that hole in the center's gotten a little wider. I'm going to tug on our tail again, and that'll close it right up. Okay, don't forget to mark your round, and the next round is 1 single crochet and then an increase. This should all look familiar. This is exactly how we started doing the body, was just by slow increases. 1 and then an increase, 1 and 2, second in the same one. I'm going to move my stitch marker up because there's 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now it's fastened there a little bit. My hook back in. So there's 1 single crochet and then an increase in the next. 1 and 2. 1 crochet and increase. 1 crochet and increase. 1 crochet increase. 1 crochet, and then the last one is an increase. 1, 2. All right, and that right there is already round number 3. Next round, we're going to increase in the next 5, or we're not going to increase in the next 5 stitches. We're going to do 1 crochet in the next 5 and then do an increase. So we're jumping from 18 stitches to 21 stitches. So we're doing 5, 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and take a second to move my marker here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to do an increase. 1 and 2. We're going to do that throughout the round here. Do another set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another increase. So the difference between doing 1 stitch and increasing and then 5 stitches and increasing, 1, 2, 3, 4, As I remember before, we were just kind of steadily going outward, more and more outward. This one with the increase after the 5 stitches, instead, right after the row with 1 stitch and 1 increase, is it's still going wide, but we're going up. We're also going up. And that's kind of what we want for the ear. So we did our 5 stitches. We got 1 more left to do the increase. 1 and 2. All right, mark that off. See, this ear's gonna go fast. So next, we're gonna do the opposite. Do 5 single crochet and then a decrease. So 1, because we don't want the ears to be too big. 2, I'm going to move my marker again. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you'll remember decreasing, we take that first loop from the first stitch, we go under that, yarn over and pull through, and then go under all of the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we've got 3 loops on our hook, and yarn over, pull through all 3. And that's our decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a decrease. 1, and then 2. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got our 2 stitches left to do the decrease. Decrease. So that's round number 5. And now we're going to do another round of decreasing, but we're going to do 4 stitches and then a decrease. So, whoops, come on. 1, 2, and I'll move my marker. 2 stitches, pull out some more yarn. 3, 4, and then another decrease. 1 and 2. Oops, almost. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decrease. I think we got 1 more. 1, 4, decrease. All right. Gonna mark off that round. And now our last row, we're just doing 1 in each. And it should be a total of 15 stitches. So I'm gonna go ahead and count through them because it's a small enough piece. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Ta-da! There's our 15 stitches. And I didn't move my marker up one, but that working right there in the stitch, that last stitch that the marker is going through, means that that right there would have been my first stitch. So yep, we've got our 15 stitches. And there you have it, that's an ear. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take out our stitch marker and grab some scissors. And we're gonna go ahead and cut a longer tail than we did the other one at the end of the body. I like to cut it extra long just to be safe. And we're gonna finish off, pull our hook through, or pull everything through. So now when you tug on it, that's not going anywhere. It's not gonna unravel. So what are we doing about this tail here? I'm gonna put my hook through the center on the inside. I'm gonna make sure I tighten it. Grab it, pull it through. So that tail's on the inside. I'm gonna make sure I tighten up that hole, tugging on that tail, that starting tail we had. So yep, looks nice and tight. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and cut it. I don't wanna cut it too short just because, but I am gonna go ahead and cut it. Let's go right about there. There it goes. So that we can just toss. That little tail we can just toss. So I've got a little bit of that there. So now you're going to want to make another one of these. You can go ahead, pause it, rewind it, so you can go back and make another one, but you of course want 2 ears. And then we'll set that aside. See, I've got a nice long tail here. We need this tail to use with our yarn needle to sew it onto our bear's head. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and set it aside. And we're gonna make and I'm gonna show you how to do the next piece. Let's go ahead and, why not? Let's start an arm. So again, we're gonna start with our magic circle. Whoops. Just like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch my page here so I know where I'm going. All right. And again, we're going to start our arm with 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We've got our 6. We're going to pull that up a little bit, and we're going to pull on our starting tail to make that a bit smaller. And I'm going to scribble these out now that I'm done with them. I'm going to start marking rounds for the arm. And so now, same thing, we're going to start increasing in each stitch. So I'm going to do the increase in the first stitch, which is 2 single crochet in that same spot here. There we go. So there's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to use my stitch marker and put it in that first stitch right there. Oops. I think today's video is going to be a bit longer, just so that we can do one of each of these pieces. Because then the next video we can work on sewing the pieces together. So there's our first increase and our second right here. And again, we're going from 6 stitches to 12. 2, and our next increase here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and our last increase here, 1 and 2. Oops. There we go. So we've got our 12 stitches. And again, I'm going to tighten up that center by pulling our starting tail. And our next round, round 3, let me mark that we've finished round 2, is we're going to do a single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then we're going to do an increase. So we're jumping from 12 stitches to 14. So we're going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to move my stitch marker. Oops. There we go. Three, 4, 5, and increase. Whoops, increase. There we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our last stitch there is an increase. 1 and 2. So it's starting to kind of widen out a little bit, but it's also trying to go up. All right, now we want to mark off. That was our 3rd row. All right, and the next row we're doing, actually next 2 rows, is going to be 1 single crochet in each, so 1 stitch in each. So I'm going to do the first couple here. Maybe. So I'm going to do 1, and then a second, and then I'm going to move my stitch marker up. There we go. Move my stitch marker up. And if we did the last round correctly, we should have 14 stitches. So 1, 2, I'm going to go ahead and count through them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whoops, pull that out a little bit more, there we go, 12. I've got 2 stitches left, so yep, we've done everything correct so far. 13 and 14. We're gonna go ahead and mark off this round, and then we're doing the same thing for the next round, so let's do that. Move my marker up. Sorry, my stitch marker's sticking up there and getting in front of the camera. Yep, okay, so I've done my last stitch there. We're gonna mark that off, round number 5. And for round 6, we're gonna do 1 crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then we're gonna do a decrease. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna move my stitch marker. There we go. 3, 4, 5, and if you remember our decrease, it was go under just that first loop right there, yarn over, pull through, oops, there we go, go under all of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. We're going to do that again, 5 stitches and then a decrease. One, 2, 3, 4. There's our 5. So now we should just have 2 stitches left, which we do, so that's just enough for our decrease. Ta-da. Mark that off. And then round 7, 8, and 9, we're going to do what we did just recently. We're going to do 1 stitch in each. So there's 2 stitches. I'm going to do a third before I move up my marker. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Try that again. There we go. Pull through. Whoops, see, I was going in the wrong spot there. There we go. Alright, there's my last stitch of the round. Whoops. Right, yep, there it is. So I'm going to mark off this row. And again, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and show you, if you ever forget to mark down what row you're on, you can always count them. So I'll take my hook out real quick and I'll show you that. You'll want to look at the side, start at the bottom. Oops, I'm going to tighten that a little bit. So there, that was our magic circle. So it's these little holes kind of in between the stitches here. So that one doesn't count, that's the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And sure enough, we've done 7 rounds. So we're going to go back. We're going to do round number 8, which is the same. You can see it's kind of trying to fold in on itself. That's normal. So I've done 3 stitches. I'm going to move my marker. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I think I've done 4. Yep, I've done 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. stitch marker doesn't want to come out. There it is. Keep going. A little bit of my tail likes to stick out. And last one. Round number 8. We'll mark it off. And round number 9 is the same thing. I'm gonna pull my tail out just a little bit. There we go. Or my, not the tail, the stitch marker. Oops. There we go. In case you're wondering, it is these smaller parts that are a bit harder to do than, say, the bigger parts, like the main body. All right, my last stitch here. Whoops. There. Maybe if I can grab the yarn, there we go. And that was round number 9. All right, and then we've got one more row to do. Excuse me. It's just 4 single crochet and then a decrease. And then we're done with our arm. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move my stitch marker one last time. 3. There it is. And 4, and then our decrease. Under the full stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3. One, 2, 3, whoops, 4, and then we've got our last couple of stitches there, just enough for a decrease. There we go. All right, that was our last round for the arm. So I'm gonna loosen this up a little bit. I'm actually gonna stick my hook in side and grab the tail from our starting tail from our magic circle. You want to go in through the very center, that magic circle part. And I'm going to pull it through so that stays hidden. And we're going to go ahead and cut off from the rest of the yarn here. We're going to leave a nice long tail that we can use to sew on. There we go. We're going to use our hook to pull this through, to pull our loop all the way through so that doesn't go anywhere. Stuff our starting tail inside. There we go. And there you have an arm. And you can pause here and go back, rewind, and make another one, because like I said, you're going to need 2 of each of these. So there's my arm. Pull out some more yarn here. Before I forget, I'm going to mark off, I'm going to scribble out my stitch markers here for my round counter. And then we're going to start with our legs. We're going to do a leg. So again, we're going to start with a magic circle and 6 single crochet. If I can find the end of my yarn here. So, whoops, magic circle. And then 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, that one got away from me. 4, 5, 6. We're going to hold on to that and we're going to tighten this up. That's considered our round 1. Whoops, move that back off to the side. And then we're going to do 2, and we're going to increase in each stitch. So we're going to have 12 single crochets. So we're going to go back to this first one here. There we go. Pull on that a little more. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and count them. There's 1, we're increasing so it's in the same stitch, 2, 3. Sometimes if it doesn't want to go through, you're grabbing an extra thread there so it'll go back out. There we go. 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6, 7, 8, 9's a little tight. 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's round number 2. And we're gonna pull on our starting tail to tighten up that hole again. And then the next round is 1 crochet in the next 2. Or no, I'm sorry, 1 crochet and then an increase. So 1, I'm gonna go ahead and do the 3 stitches here first. So an increase here. 1, 2, and I gotta set this down. What did I do with my stitch marker? There it is, my stitch marker. So I've done 3 stitches. My increase, 1, 2, and then that one there. So now I can mark the beginnings of my round. So now we're going back to that, just 1 single crochet, and then an increase, 1, 2, 1, increase, 1, oops, didn't mean to move my camera, there we go. So I did the 1 and now I'm doing increase. There's the second. 1, increase, 1, and last one is our increase. 1, 2. All right, round number 3, and like I said, we're doing the foot now. Okay, so now we're doing a single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're doing an increase. So we're gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna move my stitch up, or my marker. There we go. So I've got 2, and then I'm gonna do an increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, oops, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. Want some more yarn. There we go. 1, 2, increase. Whoops, there we go. Last set. 1, 2, and then an increase right here. That was row number 4. And for the next 2 rows, we're doing 1 stitch in each. So by now, if we've been doing it right, we should have 24 stitches. So we're just doing 24 stitches around. First one, I'm going to go ahead and count for you. 1, 2, 3, should move my marker, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think I might have been off. Let me double count here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, I was right. Okay. Thought I counted the same one twice. 16, 17, 18, 19, there it goes, 20, 21, 22, 23, and last one, we've done everything correctly, so yep, 24. We've got our 24 stitches. And we're gonna do the same thing next round, just one in each. Two, 3, 4, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't move my stitch marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost there, 18, whoops, I'm gonna have to pull that through, redo 18. There we go. See, now we've done all those, and that is round 6. Be sure to edit out that camera move there. All right, and our next round is going to be 1 crochet in the next 2 stitches and then a decrease. So I'm going to do 2 stitches here real quick, and then I'm going to move my marker. and then decrease. Oops. There it goes. All right, and then 1, 2, and decrease. Yep, I got it. Yep, okay. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, and decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2. And I got 2 stitches left, just enough for my decrease. And if you did that right, you should have 18 stitches in your round. All right, that was number 7. And next we're gonna just decrease all around. Or no, I'm sorry, not decrease all around. We're going to do 4 decreases, and then we're just gonna crochet in the next 10 stitches. So it's gonna be a little different. So we're gonna do 4 decreases. There's decrease number 1. Decrease number 2. Decrease number 3. And then decrease number 4. So I'm going to move my marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're doing a single crochet in the next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, whoops, 7, 8, 9, and our last one there, 10. So you should have 14 stitches. And then we're going to do kind of the same thing. We're gonna crochet, or we're gonna, decrease twice, and then do 10 in the next or do a regular single crochet in the next 10. So you can see we're kind of condensing one side, but just making the other side taller. So there's one decrease. And here's our second. 1, 2. Move the stitch marker. And then we're doing 10 regular single crochet. Oops, I keep losing my strand. One, 2, 3. See, there we go again. Doesn't like me today. Okay, so there's 1, whoops. Decrease 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one 10. That was round number 9. And for the last couple of rows, the last 3 rows we're doing 1 crochet in each, so we're just going up from here. So if you've done these right, you should have just 12 stitches per round. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first row and count it. 1, 2, oops, see I've got that extra strand caught there, 2, do 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll move my stitch marker. 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So yep, we've been doing everything right. And so now we just do 2 more rounds of that. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Oops, looks like I gotta redo that one. Just came right undone on top of me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And since we're gonna do one last round, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my stitch marker. So see where we had those decreases right there? It cinched it in from one side a little bit so it looks more like a foot. Pull out a little more yarn, one last round of 12 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Oops. 12. All right, you're gonna, ta-da, you're gonna leave a long tail and we're gonna cut it off. All right. We're gonna pull that tail through. Ta-da. Oh, and don't forget to tighten that up a little bit and to go inside your piece and pull that starting tail in so we don't have to worry about trying to hide that later. That one we can just kind of stuff back in there. We don't have to pull it out all the way. All right, so you'll want to stuff your arm, stuff your leg just a little bit. You don't have to stuff the ear. And we are almost done. Go ahead and make your second leg, second arm, and second ear. Make sure you stuff those, and we will see you next time for our last part where I'll show you how to do the muzzle and a tail, and then we'll put our teddy bear together. We'll sew them together. See you then.